Hello everyone. Here are the directions for the fourth and fifth milestone of the Technology Integrated Curricular Plan. Let's begin with the expectations and criteria for these two milestones. Here's the rubric for the TICP, and as we can see, 5 out of 6 criteria on the rubric relate to the fourth and fifth milestones. So make sure you go over the rubric before starting your work on these two milestones. Another criteria that you should go over prior to working on this section of the TICP is the checklist for Technology Integrated Assessment Plan. Make sure you go over all the 20 criteria listed and understand what they mean. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, watch the video on assessment and technology prior to working on the two milestones. For TICP4, we'll be working on the assessment plan, and in the assessment plan, you need to identify how you will summatively assess each objective that you listed in the previous milestone. Make sure that you use rubrics as needed to set clear criteria for each assessment. Submit these rubrics when you submit the assessment plan and include them in the resources section of the TICP. Not all summative assessments have to leverage technology, but a significant number of them should, since this is, after all, a technology integrated curricular plan. So I'll be looking for that. Make sure you evaluate all the assessments using the checklist for technology integrated assessment plan. Now let's take a look at some student samples. This assessment plan is for a grade 3 English language arts, and the topic is genre study. Students are assigned a genre and will complete a book proposal form where they will choose 3 books they like from the genre. Here are the objectives of the unit plan, and as you can see, the objectives follow the ABCD format and are clearly indicative of how they will be assessed. And here's the assessment plan. The student has clearly identified how students will be assessed formatively and summatively for each objective, which are referenced with the corresponding numbers. They have also indicated the technologies that will be used and the criteria for the assessment. And they have provided the links to the rubrics for each of the assessments in the resources section of the TICP. They've used RubyStar, a very neat online tool that can be used to generate rubrics on a variety of assessments. Here's another unit plan for a grade 12 phys ed class on fitness. The students will be learning about different muscle groups, exercises, and how to create a workout plan. Each summative assessment is clearly identified along with the technology that will be used. We will work on learning and assessment strategies for the fifth milestone, and as I said, they're closely tied to the assessment plan in the previous milestone. The fifth milestone, i.e. strategies, is divided into 3 sections: presentation of content, student engagement, and students' demonstration of knowledge and skills. The first section focuses on the delivery of lesson content to students. You'll start by describing how you will present or deliver the content to the students, and there's so many ways to do that, right? From the traditional lecture to the more student-centered and collaborative jigsaw activity to self-paced web quests and more inquiry-based and exploratory case study analysis, and many more strategies that you can find online. There's a very nice infographic from educatorstechnology.com on differentiated instruction strategies. You can find the link in the description for this video. Next, you will identify the objectives that each strategy targets. Just list the number that corresponds to the objective listed above. And then list the technology or technologies used in each strategy. Please make sure that you provide links, if any, to the technology used. And then you will use the TPACK, SAMR, RAT, and SET frameworks and models to assess and justify your use of the technology. You can use the TAPE and the SET frameworks to assess the technology for accessibility. In the next section, you will list the different ways you'll be conducting formative assessments and how you are using technology to do that. You also have the option of listing all of your formative assessments in a column next to the summative assessments above, as you saw in the example I shared with you before. In the next section, you will list ways you're differentiating your instruction so you can reach diverse learners. Again, mention the different ways you're leveraging technology to do that if applicable. Here are the teaching strategies for the Grade 3 English Language Arts unit plan on genre study that we looked at before. The student has listed the objectives in detail. You don't have to do that. You can just reference them with the corresponding number for the objectives. Also, not all learning strategies may use technology. You have to, as a teacher, decide when to do that. However, make sure you have a rationale that makes sense if technology is not used for a teaching strategy. When analyzing the impact of technology, you can use either the SAMR or the RAT model. Don't use both. This student has opted to use the RAT model. Here's another example of a unit plan for a grade 10 or 11 visual arts class. The teacher is delivering content via a lecture discussion using YouTube and Prezi. The next section of the fifth milestone is very similar to the previous one. However, here the focus is on student engagement rather than on the delivery of the content. And then the following section of the fifth milestone is also very similar to the two previous ones, but the focus here is on students' demonstration of their knowledge and skills. So the various sections of the fifth milestone may seem redundant, however, they really are not. The first one is focusing on content delivery, i.e. the presentation of content. The second one is focusing on student engagement, and the third one is focusing on students' demonstration of knowledge and skills. You need to identify strategies for each, the technologies used, and the consequent transformation of teaching and learning due to the integration of those technologies, and how you're leveraging technology to reach out to diverse learners. Lastly, make sure that you go over the sample unit plans provided on the TICP website to get a better idea of the expectations. Don't hesitate to contact me with any additional questions or concerns. I look forward to your submissions. Good luck.